Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back for another Clash of Cronies stream. We're going to be getting into it today. Thanks for anyone who voted on my personal Instagram about who they want to be this week's winner. We'll also be periodically checking in with the chat, seeing if there's, if you vote in the chat live, your vote counts double because of that live participation. So you'll get some weighted votes in the chat, and yeah, we're currently in this Necromancer versus Merfolk semi-finals, and so it's fun. It's very exciting. My name is Carter. If this is your first time here, and I'm with the Wacom Experience Center. And for those of you who don't know, the Wacom Experience Center is a public space in the Pearl District in Portland, and we typically, pre-COVID era, would put on different events, and we are a showroom where you can walk in and check out Wacom products and ask questions, and it's a great space, and we are excited for whenever we can jump back in and get people in the doors. But in the meantime, we're doing some fun virtual events and networking and just getting to know our community. So yeah, this is a good way to stay in touch with everyone. Yeah, let's jump into the project. Let's see here. All right, so this is the scene thus far. This is kind of the introduction. So right now it looks like they're kind of just waving their arms around. And I want this one to be, a lot of the other ones have been, there's lots of physical violence upon each other, a la, jumping and smashing and punching each other. This time around, I'm thinking more of this like wizard's duel kind of thing. So they're going to be mostly stationary, and yes, right now it looks like they're just kind of waving their arms at each other. But the plan for today is to add some different hand-drawn animation to those movements and create these kinds of like, magic missiles that they're shooting at each other. So that is the plan. The other thing I was thinking of doing, I think this would be a good opportunity to like bring in some other assets. So I'm thinking of like out of the ocean, the merfolk is going to like summon some kind of kraken thing that's going to come up, and I don't know. There's opportunities. So I may draw some of those assets today as well. And yeah, that's kind of what's on the docket. So I did turn off a lot of the effects for just the sake of rendering. So in the video that I put out, the sails are waving in the wind and the water is moving. And I just kind of turned all those effects off just because they're cosmetic and they slow down the rendering quite a bit. So I'll just turn those on when it's time to actually finalize things. But for now, it looks a little more static than what the final will look like. So just know that. All right. So yeah, I'm actually just going to, all right, so let's see here. So we have this kind of first action where the robed character is, I'm imagining it's going to be this kind of like, sort of like stream of evil looking magic that the merfolk character kind of like deflects. So it's very, it's going to be very like Harry Potter, sort of the Patronus battle sort of thing, where it's like two streams of lightning sort of like bouncing into each other. So that is kind of the first motion there, and then I think the second one is going to be the merfolk summoning its creature from the depths. So that's the plan. I'm actually going to go ahead and just, I think, export this and then bring it over to animate, and we'll kind of get that out of the way. I think I'm going to do these kind of in pieces, because typically what I'll do is I'll do all the hand-drawn effects at once, and then I've been kind of running into issues with those hand-drawn effects not really being in the right place because of the camera. So it'll just be easier to position them if I do them kind of piecemeal. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to just export a small clip from here. Yeah. Just like a 2-second clip. That's right. I'm going to watch, you're going to watch some exporting. How exciting is that? Yeah, on my Instagram poll, the merfolk did win by a considerable margin. So, yeah, I think it was like 7-15 merfolk. So I actually thought the necromancer was going to win because it was very popular last time. You know, hence it moving on to the semifinals, but let's take a look here. All right. Some corgis would be good. Flood the chat with some corgis. Okay. There we go. I think I'm asking a fair bit out of my computer right now. So it's taking a little longer. Basically, I'm just trying to export this as an MP4. And then I'll bring it over into Adobe Animate and I'll draw on top of it. And it'll be fun. Is that how the points works? You spend it on emojis. Okay, this media encoder not having it. Let's just try to render it from After Effects. Yeah, I haven't seen that happen. I'm guessing it's because I'm running OBS on top of it right now. All right. This is just going to be a two-step process. This is After Effects. This is the magic of After Effects. My day's been good. Yeah, it's been fine. I went on a walk. There's a cemetery near my house that I like to walk around in. It's a good like 3/4 mile loop around it. So it's nice. And otherwise, yeah, I've just been chilling. How about you, Chris? Yeah, I gotta get inspired. It's a pretty cool cemetery, actually. It's got a lot of very old headstones. Yeah, it's cool. It is like mixed with some. It's weird because it's like really old tombstones and then mixed with like modern ones that are like laser etched, and I hate those ones. Like, it'll be like someone's portrait that's like photo realistically laser etched into a headstone, and it just clashes so hard. That's good. I've been trying to be productive. I wanted to be further along in this, but that's okay. All right. I'm gonna try media encoder one more time. Sorry, everyone. It'll get exciting here in a second, hopefully. Hide my file browser from everyone, so you don't see how unorganized I am. Yeah, and I'm sure there's plugins for After Effects where you can export an MP4, but just natively After Effects doesn't export MP4, which is kind of weird. I don't really get it. It doesn't export GIFs either. I feel like just for a quality of life thing, they should just, even if it's like bad for their standards, I think that it should just be able to export all those file types. Okay. All right. Done and done. I'm gonna actually close After Effects right now just because all right. Adobe Animate. I watched a tutorial recently on someone just like walking through their process of Adobe Animate, and I realized I have a lot to learn from that program. I guess at the same time, they kind of were using it sort of to create an entire animation, whereas I typically use it just for like bits and pieces, so it works for how I use it, but it would be cool to just be able to do entire scenes in it. But basically there's just a lot of like sort of the equivalent of pre-comping and like, yeah, just sort of pre-comping and like looping certain elements so you don't have to do them over and over. All right, so let's do 1080 by 1080. And then we're going to import to stage, I think. Is that what it is? Let me see. Import video. I think that's it. Yeah. And then embed H.264 and find it. Where is it? Exactly. Final dot PSD. All right. So there's our animation. So now get a draw on top of it. Could do this in Photoshop too, which now that I'm it's Photoshop makes it a little harder. I don't know. There's pros and cons. Photoshop, the onion skinning is a lot harder to deal with. But the brushes are more interesting. Animate is pretty flat because it's vector, but it's okay. We can manipulate it in After Effects, so Alright, so I'm gonna add a new layer. And then we'll go right click on it and go convert to frame by frame animation. I'm going to keyframe every other frame. So it's essentially 12 drawings to make up 1 second of animation. Because it's 24 frames a second. So that's that animating on twos, they call it. Every other frame. So you can't animate on threes, it just looks a little chunkier. Alright. So once he raises his staff, then we're gonna have this evil energy spew out. I mean, I kind of just gotta go purple. Or I could do green, kind of acid green too. That would be good. Also evil. That's fun. There's a bunch of like brush settings you can mess with. Super weird. Feels like I'm drawing this like noodle thing. Okay. Okay. Just gonna have this sort of just keep growing. I do want it to think about timing, so maybe it starts kind of slow and then it speeds up considerably, just because if you have like sort of different paces, it's more interesting than just kind of constant rates. So this one kind of starts off fast enough. Let's see. I'll have it speed up here. And I could, in After Effects, I could like add a gradient to this, or do I have any big plans this weekend? Kind of. Not really. I do want to do a lot of assembling and painting of Warhammer 40,000 models. So that's on the docket. Otherwise, not really. I'm kind of living that bachelor life this weekend because my partner's going out of town for 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna do all the unabashed nerdy stuff that I always want to do, that they always let me do anyway, but now I can just do it in full confidence, without having to like be a good partner. So that's what I have planned. Let me see. I'm gonna go grab one of my models really quick. Show you what I've been working on. I returned. So this is, let me go full screen. This is one of my 40K models. Let me see. It's this little like, it reminds me of like the bugs from Matrix, or like the jellyfish from the Matrix. They're just like these nasty little like shrimp guys with claws, and this is my paint scheme. It's kind of this like super dark turquoise, and then these kind of like acidic green kind of highlights on it. So that one is rad. What else? I have this one, which people call the croissant. It's this like flying spaceship thing, and it's shaped like this like crescent moon thing, and it flies around and shoots things. That was fun. And I also really like this model. He's like unpainted right now, but it's hard to see, but he's kind of got this like floating spinal column, and he has all these like hanging little robe bits, and he's got a staff. He's really spooky. So I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, no, it is in Warhammer. Yeah, these are called the croissant, like as in the pastry. That's like the nickname for them, just because they look like a croissant that you could eat. But yeah, it's fun. This is like my little airbrush job on it. Pretty stoked. They're called the Necrons, and they're like spooky robot skeletons that are also Egyptian themed. So they're like spooky ancient Egyptian robot skeletons. It's like such a weird mashup, but it makes total sense. Back to the Clash. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I could keep going. I have a lot. I have a legion of men that need painting. All right, so make a new layer. This is going to be the merfolk energy. Pick kind of a... I guess I don't want the color to be too close to its skin color, so let's just go like almost white. Now let's go dark blue. Green blue. Alright, that's fine. So kind of as this is coming for this guy, he's going to sort of summon this wave to like block it. And for this one, I'm actually going to use more of a round brush so that there's kind of a contrast in the shapes. So let's see. Just gonna go ahead and like, it's gonna start down here. I'm gonna do just an outline first, and then I'll kind of paint bucket and fill it in later. So let's see, by this moment, this wave needs to be like here. I should maybe turn up the contrast. No, you guys can see it. I'm gonna do my little in-betweens here. Kind of need to turn up the opacity on the onion skins. Kind of works. It's a little fast, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill that. I think it'll look better with some, if I add like a second color to it. Alright, so now we have spooky death rays coming, and then see, this one kind of pops up out of nowhere. Should probably add a few frames. So I'm just going to add a few more frames just so it isn't as abrupt. It's kind of a silly shape, but oh well. Okay. Hey, Jess Collins. Thanks for joining. I checked out your Instagram. It looks really awesome. I am a big fan of your illustrations. It's got a really, I don't know how to put it. It's got like a very like tactile quality to it. I don't know, it just looks like very involved. Like there's a lot of care and time put into each one, I can tell. But no, I thought it looked really good. You could also do some like video game sort of design stuff, I feel like. That's something. I'll let you eat. Thank you. All right, so I should actually have this sort of necromancer guys thing start a little faster. Oops. All right, so okay, we turn on onion skins. Let's work on this guy's first. I'm actually gonna change the color of the onion skinning since it kind of is matching too much. So let's do like blue for previous. Okay. I'm gonna have it kind of start bouncing off this this wall of water. This needs to be a little more energetic. So I want... it's okay. How long does this last? This lasts for a while. This lasts for another second. So I'll have it maybe kind of grow. Yes. Get a snack. Oh, I see. Yeah. No, I was actually like thinking in my head, I was like, don't just get a snack, get a whole meal. Yeah. Oh boy. Eli and their friends. A wacky crowd. Okay, go eat. I know you're the type of person that only eats like one meal a day. So if you're saying you're hungry, it's bad. I, on the other hand, eat constantly. I live between meals. I actually had to like have my partner hide Sour Patch Kids from me, because there's just certain things like sweets that if they're around and I have access to them, I'll just eat them until they're gone in like a matter of a day or two. So I was just like, hide this where I can't find it. It's a problem. Even though it wasn't even like my favorite sour candy either, it was like Sour Punch straw bits, like just like little like hollow cylinders that are sour. Sour Patch is where it's at. You do love your cookies. Wacom. My partner is also a cookie fiend. Oh yeah. Halloween candy. Okay, so if I was thinking about this in a way to make it look cool and convincing, I think a good way to track this shape would be to kind of look at these like negative shapes here, these little sort of teardrops that are inside the beam, and like have those kind of progress. So I'm gonna try that in an effort to just make a conscious decision. I'm kind of just tracing the lines loosely, so like right here it doesn't really look like anything, but let me put some thought and effort into it. How long does this last even? So yeah, it lasts for a while. so we have a chance to fix it. So I'm just gonna make these little teardrops kind of slowly move towards. Nope. This brush is super weird. Why are you lagging? Jess Collins, you know what your, now that I'm thinking about it, I think what your art reminded me of was this, I forget the artist's name, but they did the art for this indie game called Machinarium. Like Machinarium. And you should check it out. Just look at some screenshots of it. That might not like at least just a few of your more recent pieces, I think. But yeah, I am a big fan of their art, so it's a big compliment from me. Because I try to model some of my stuff after them. Got some. Now I'm gonna I feel the need to look at your stuff again and then look at it because I might be totally off. Because I think I looked at your Instagram like a week ago, but I won't do that right now. Just tell me if I'm wrong. It's okay, or if you hate that. No, it's pretty cool. I'm just thinking of the piece you did where there was a little gun turret that it looked like a little tower defense kind of thing. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I'm just looking at Machinarium now. Not necessarily the characters. I don't know. I was thinking maybe it was the color palette that was doing it. Let me zoom in. You could. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just color palette or something, but yeah, I really like that art style. Yeah. Just trying to have these flames kind of spread and grow. Sort of bounce off this wall. Let's see what it looks like in real time real quick. Looks pretty good. It's a little slow, but I feel like I keep saying that about all of this. That's okay. I could speed it up. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen some cool stuff with Clip Studio. I know, I think I've said this before, but I know a ton of like comic book artists prefer Clip Studio by a lot, just because it has a lot of tools for inking and like filling that Photoshop doesn't, and I'm sure like the panel layout and all that stuff is like more kind of automated, so I know it has a lot of good optimization for that. I haven't really messed around with the brushes and the painting, but I'm sure it's comparable to Photoshop. There's a lot of good just like Photoshop alternatives out there. I definitely, if I wasn't so like heavily invested in After Effects, I probably wouldn't be so attached to like Photoshop, but since it's all kind of one package, I just spring for it. Yeah, Toon Boom. Man, Toon Boom kind of scares me. I don't know why. I guess I could try it. Maybe I would end up preferring it over this. I find Adobe Animate like okay. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool. I'm up for finding a different program. I know a lot of people who use TV Paint as well for frame by frame animation and rotoscoping and stuff, so yeah. For some reason TV Paint seems more approachable. I don't know why. Toon Boom looks like it has a lot of like character kind of optimization and automation where you can sort of like puppet characters almost, I think. Yeah, sounds complex. I know, there's so many programs I want to like be able to be good at. It's hard to find the time and the motivation to like learn new programs / money. Although, I mean, Experience Center has those programs, so. Yeah, I would, like, if I had all the time in the world and I didn't have any like concerns about being like a jack of all trades and a master of none. I would love to learn 3D modeling and 3D sculpting. I would probably want to learn like Cinema 4D, so like 3D animation, learn TV Paint. That's about it, I guess. I think 3D is like an interesting, it's like starting to call to me for some reason. But it's so wildly different from what I do. I've pretty much only thought about image creation in terms of 2D for so long that 3D would feel like just a complete different world, but it's not a bad thing. It definitely goes back to that sort of philosophical kind of argument that we've brought up a lot of, just like, should you, as like a creative professional, sort of specialize in one thing, or should you be flexible and adept at a bunch of different stuff? And I don't know. I feel like I already have my, what is that saying? Have my foot in several different pies. Is that the saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying. I dabble in a few things, so branching out to more stuff sounds like a lot of time. Yeah, I feel like half of my art school curriculum was just like someone beating me over the head with like a book that just says, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I'm just like make connections. Doesn't matter. Just be friends with a producer. Kind of lost my focus on this flame and having it look like it was kind of moving in a fluid motion, but I'm at least just making these little like sparks on the end, you know, those are trailing off in a convincing enough way, so I'll try to get back my Maybe I'll switch gears to the, I could probably copy and paste some of these frames too. I don't know why I'm opting to draw every single frame. This is true. Yeah, you could make some killer stuff in, I don't know. I was gonna say MS Paint, but that's an old joke. This is good. I'm digging it. I'm just gonna finish it. This reminds me of like the dragon's breath that from Sleeping Beauty, like that green from that cool like purple dragon. Oh, it was like Maleficent in her dragon form, and she just like tries to like waste that night. That would be my alternate ending, is just scorches the night. Also, Wacom Experience Center is funny because the day we were talking about Neverending Story on my stream, I watched Neverending Story that night. It wasn't even my idea. And it was a great film, Chris Diego. Lots of practical effects. Was Jim Henson involved in that one? I don't know. I'm really bad with that with that trivia knowledge. You bought an emote, Chris? Now you are getting deep in this Twitch life. I mean, that's what we need. But yeah, good on you. Oh, with your points, yes. So we are gonna make some emotes. It's gonna be fun. I said whoever wins this series, whoever wins Clash of Cronies is going to be immortalized into a emote. Excuse me. West German film. Okay. Interesting. No Henson. Still, great practical effects. Some amazing green screen use. And just a beautiful story. Great art too. I was like, I don't really wish this, but part of me was like, man, I missed my window for art because I think I'm sure you could still do this as like a matte painter, but painting those backgrounds for Neverending Story would be up there. Dream job. And just like sci-fi movies in general of that era in the 80s and even earlier than that. I just love like that era of like sci-fi painting, just traditional stuff. Set design would have been sweet. Alright, we're almost there. I think I could actually have this flame kind of dissipate now, since their arms sort of lower shortly after this. Let's wrap up this flame. Like, what is that? I'm thinking of like special effects, special makeup effects, that sort of thing. Like, yeah, like airbrushing. What was that one? Skin Wars? Where they do like special effect, kind of like, I forget what that's even called. Prosthetics, yeah. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. There's all those like gore artists too that make like the, just like have like the wounds on people, and that stuff is pretty crazy. Oh, okay. That's cool. I would watch it just to see his performance. The guy could definitely have his own show. He's quite the character. Gotta wrap up this flame. Just gonna do little specks, and those specks are gonna disappear. Okay. Flame. Pretty good. Just gonna watch it again. Now this is why animation takes long, actually. It's just because I just rewatch my animations like 10 times. So it's satisfying. That's probably the most involved frame by frame I've done for this series, at least. Okay, I'm done. Now I have to animate this water. This is gonna be harder, because water needs to be kind of flowy. The flames I can get away with being really erratic. Yeah. All right, water. Basically just need these little ripples over here to kind of like slowly climb. So I think that's how I'm going to try to give this shape some kind of order and some kind of motion to it. Not just so it's like this like jittering shape that just stays there. It does need some thought out animation. And I'm gonna redraw that because I already failed that mission. So let's go like that, and then once it gets to the top, those kind of need to break off into little water droplets. So let's try this again. So progress, and then this is gonna break off. Okay, I think I'm actually just gonna, I will probably hide that flame at some point. So let's have that break off. Okay. This one's probably going to take longer since I actually have to think. I should probably make it go up higher too. I'll just move it up in After Effects. Okay. Okay, I got lost for a second, but I'm back. There's a lot going on there. I think I'm gonna hide this layer real quick, just because it's making for a very like busy kind of workspace. Yeah, you should. What was the project? Because doesn't Clip Studio have kind of an animate you can do in there? Some kind of animation capacity? Yeah. Well, I'm glad if I had any hand in it to help encourage you to do it. Because if I can do it, most people can. Oh, cool. It's like its own kind of series. I'm gonna take note of that so I can check it out. Cool. I'm gonna look at it later. That looks great though. Let's see if this is working. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. I'm just gonna do we're gonna do a plug here. I know we don't have the hugest audience right now, but oh. This is rad. I like abstract visual essay. That's a good, I don't know, it's just a good descriptor. Well, this is good. Dang, and you got this really sweet layout for it and everything. This is awesome. Dang. Wow, this is really like just well put together and well thought out altogether. Looks great. Well, while we're at it, I think this was, yeah, this was the one I was talking about. Looking like Machinarium a little bit. This one's awesome. I would read a graphic novel that was done this way, like in a heartbeat. Yeah. Little plug, little fan plug. We'll be sure to do it again. Once we have, you know, 50,000 followers or wherever, we'll be sure to give them updates on your stuff. We should even do just like a let's look at our favorite artist stream or something. That would be good. I guess you would need permission. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't ask permission. Just for you. But yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, just you wait. It's been growing steadily. It's been good. It's a slow build. Rome wasn't built in a day, they say. We do gotta do some raids. Chris Diego is fiending for some raids. I think this series would be good to go and feature on, like Rose City Games. Be like, look at what we're doing. Hello, fellow gamer. Yeah, that would be cool. It is very video gamey. Yeah, I think that would be a good collaboration. It's not even a collaboration, it's just, can you feature me? Wait. Oh. I was mortified for a second. It looks like I drew some of this on this layer, so I thought that I deleted, like, majority of this flame, but it's there. So, yeah. Okay. Gotta get through this water. Gotta drink some water. I think I'm just going to focus on this one shape, and then I'll do the droplets after. And I will also just do the outline for now. And then I'll just paint bucket it all at once. This is how you work, Flow. Nice. Glad we can do a video with Jess Collins. I wasn't gonna say anything because that's not my territory. But I'm just kidding. I mean, I can make suggestions, but I'm glad that that's happening. Yeah, they did Chris and Megan did a interview with someone from Spain, this fashion designer in Spain recently, and their English was like a tiny bit shaky, but it totally worked. So it's not a huge pressure. Plus we have I don't know for sure, but I mean there's Spanish speaking people at Wacom that could easily translate, so whatever's comfortable. My Spanish is very shaky, despite having Spanish classes from 6th grade through end of high school. I've actually been meaning, well, my partner and I have been wanting to take Spanish classes again together just to refresh, but she kind of got a deal through her work, and so she's just gonna be taking them now, but yeah, I still want to do it at some point. I have like not good vocabulary, but I have like, I can sometimes surprise myself with vocab, but it's just a matter of conversational, and like confidence in it is very low. So, and by good vocabulary I mean like a 5-year-old's vocabulary, but just realized I haven't saved for this whole time, so I'm gonna do that real quick. No. You're getting put to the test, Chris. Spanish pop quiz. Sounds like he's MIA. What? Diego? All right. Let's go ahead and do some paint bucket. It's like, I think once I add the drops, it'll be better. I think I'll probably do some kind of tweak to it in After Effects. Maybe give it like some kind of wave warp or something. Just because it is like a little, it's a little stagnant feeling, but it's fine. I think maybe if I add the drops, it'll help too. A secondary color would be good. That would probably set it off. Thank you. Splashing. Spanish is more difficult than English. I mean, I don't know. I guess I haven't like, I would feel like I would only be able to really say if I fully learned both. I mean, I guess I've fully learned English enough. It may not seem that way sometimes, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I feel like English definitely has some really dumb things that don't like make sense in it, that are just like sheer memory, just like, why do these 3 words that are spelt the same way mean different things? But I'm sure that happens elsewhere too, so. I will say conjugating verbs, that's where I kind of like, I feel like the last thing I was learning in Spanish was just, there's just so many different conjugations, like past participle, and yeah, I was getting really messed up with past conjugation of verbs. That was hard because the word can just like totally change, like fue instead of yeah, I don't know, it's just like a lot of memory for sure. Yeah, I don't even have a good example, but I just remember like wasn't it like to go was like ear in present, like IR, and then to say someone like went somewhere is fue. It was like that. I mean, like, I guess in English it's like, you know, they are going to the store versus they went to the store, so I guess it's the same, but I don't know. Like I said, my Spanish is terribly rusty, but okay, I got a thumbs up. I feel like it would come back to me if I tried. I will say songs. I know this is like this conversation has been going on for like a half hour because I only say things every like 10 minutes, but just because I'm so into this animation. But I feel like one way that I'm appreciative of like this teaching method is definitely like learning songs in Spanish, because I do know De Colores. Okay. Yes. That one's classic. What else? I do know a Shakira song in Spanish. Whenever, wherever we're meant to be together. contigo, mi vida. Quiero vivir mi vida. Very good. ¿Qué más? Under the Sea, Little Mermaid. Then there's this song that was just going through all of the like capitals of South America, and so I feel like I can name like 90% of the capitals of every country, and I can barely name the capitals of each state in America, so something there. John Cicada. I don't know if I know who that is. Some other songs were Bésame. Love that. Also, Donde Estás Yolanda? Another song. Probably just made for teaching, but I don't know. Bésame is I think somewhat of a classic, if I'm not mistaken, but who knows. So did that. I'm gonna go ahead and export. Let's see. Yeah, I think the only Shakira songs I know are like early 2000s. I'm sure, well, she did do the Super Bowl, but I think she sang one of her old songs. Okay, so I know there's a way to export these layers separately, but I forget how at the moment, so I'm just gonna trash this one layer and then export. back to After Effects. I'm gonna try to show what I had in mind for these effects as far as how you can sort of do some little extra tweaks to them once they're in After Effects. It's like I want to add some kind of secondary color to the water, but I could either do it frame by frame or I could cheat and use After Effects, so opting for the latter. This is going to be tricky actually, since I accidentally drew some of the effects on the wrong layer for the first bit. Well, maybe it's fine. It'll just take some patching together. The little accent on the A, was that? So, okay, so plan would be to duplicate, let me zoom in to this very pixelated thing here, but okay, so I'm going to duplicate the water, and then I'm going to go to Effect, Generate, Fill. And I'm gonna make it closer to white. And then I'm gonna go Effect, Matte Choker, and nope, not that one. Simple Choker. Matte, simple choker. Turn it up. So now I can kind of get like, yeah, so that's not great. I guess like there could be okay, but I probably just want to turn this color to be closer to this. So that kind of gives me like an outline. It's not, it's a little better. I'm gonna kind of hide the bottom of it there. I think what I'll also try to do, maybe I can like roughen the edges here with an effect called roughen edges. Because I'm just kind of experimenting here. Let me turn up the resolution. Definitely looks like something. It's kind of weird. If I It's kind of weird. It's also taking forever to render. I don't think this is the solution, but I'm just going to see what it looks like. No. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. guess it could just be as simple as offsetting it by a few frames and then making it smaller and a different color. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of messing around right now, trying to make the water look a little more interesting. Yeah. I don't really even know what I did there, but I'm into it. I mean, we could get real crazy with it if we wanted. Let's just see what a ripple effect will look like. I've kind of used the ripple effect in a lot of places in this animation already, so it might just look, you know, it's kind of one of those things, the more you use it, the less effective it is, but let's just see. I'll turn off that. It does add a little funk to it. Okay. I think the only other thing I might mess with is like just the opacity. I guess even just the opacity as a whole. Just drop it down a tiny bit. This does need to be like up here for this to make sense though. Yeah. I don't know. I'll mess with the position of it so that it looks like the flame is kind of more colliding with the water, and that the water is actually coming from the ocean. But yeah, that's some effects animation there. Took us a good 2.5 hours. Thanks for everyone who joined in. It's fun talking to everyone. We'll be back. We'll be back soon. Thanks, Jess Collins, for hanging out as usual. And yeah, stoked that we'll do a interview with you. That'll be fun. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. That's right. Daryl. We're doing a ZBrush demonstration with Daryl Abney tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, from Leica. The people who did Coraline and Box Trolls and all the other ones. So yeah, check that out if you're interested in 3D sculpting or just curious about what his deal is. Kubo, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. We will be back with our regular programming next week. What do I have going on? I think next Wednesday is kind of up in the air. Chris and I have to fight over who wants a day off. Other than that, I will try to wrap up this fight and show everyone the finished video of that. So it should be exciting. Yeah, thanks everyone. Have a great Friday. Keep making cool stuff, and we will talk to you soon. Bye all.